Okay, so what we're doing here is we're going to find the spine of the shaft. Now, this is just the beginning of balancing the golf club, and I know there's a lot out there. Where do you find the spine? Where do you place the spine? You know, you can go for days and days on forums and find out which is which. And if you look, and some manufacturers, they will come and they will give you spine locations. Well, again, just like when I weigh the heads because I don't like their gram scale, what I do is I like finding it myself anyway. So I have a really nice hard spine here where the red line is up, and I have a even harder one right there. So I'm going to go with this one, and then I mark it with mine. Now, it's not to say that the other ones are wrong. They may have found something somewhere, but this is what I find, and this is what I go with. And this is not the cure-all, end-all of all the shafts. What this is just a beginning. And see how that one flipped just automatically right there, very close to the red line. So we're starting to agree with the person who selected them prior to. And we just keep sticking them in there. Now, I've done some already before. That was because I didn't want to bore you with watching, spin the shaft around. But and you go through every one of these, and what this is, they call it the beginning of, you've heard of flowing, spinal lining, the whole 9 yards, and even how they do it in a computer fashion. And all of it is really, really good, but when it really comes down to it is, if you don't align it in with the head, it's not worth anything. So this is just the beginning. This is the right church, maybe the wrong pew. All right, so next, when we go to do the balancing on these, we'll put the head on there, we'll start it there, and we'll do the flowing, and that puts us in the right church, in the right pew, and that way it works the same every time. Now, you can have a particular philosophy in how you want it to work. You may want it to bend so that it flexes this way. You may want it to bend so it flexes this way. It's just whatever your particular preference is. Now, for me, when we started, there was a whole way you couldn't orient the shaft. So we would just put everything at 12 o'clock because all the way that the shaft bent down. Yes, there's kick, but that's always in the profile. The shaft is always bending down based on the force that you're putting on the club. So if I made it act the same every way, I'm not giving an advantage or disadvantage. It's just that's the best place to put it. That's the way I've always done it, and that's the way I'm going to continue to do it unless somebody tells me different. Now the other side of this is, well, if I put it in here, does it even make a difference? I've got testing that says it doesn't even make a difference, and that's fine. You can say it doesn't make a difference and shove them in there. I take the time to make sure that this is right, and I just take one more reason out of the club for it to act inconsistently. If I put it in there and they put them in the same way every time, the club will work the same way every time for every club. And that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm taking every excuse out so that the golfer can have a consistent set, and as long as they're consistent, everything works the same. You can have the reasonable same expectation as they go through the set. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to checking them out and making sure that they're aligned properly.